Title: The App. Jessica had never been one to believe in supernatural phenomena. Ghosts, curses, or spirits never seemed real to her. A freshman at Crestwood University, she spent most of her nights studying in the dim light of her dorm, the blue glow of her phone providing both comfort and distraction. As she was scrolling through a social media feed one night, something caught her eye: an app called Nightmare. The description was enticing and vague. Unlock your deepest fears while you sleep. Curiosity piqued, Jessica downloaded it, dismissing her initial hesitation. The app required a simple agreement. It asked for her dreams to be recorded each night. What's the worst that could happen? She thought, barely swiping away the terms and conditions. The first few nights were uneventful, just mundane dreams, nothing worth mentioning. However, on the fourth night, Jessica found herself in an unfamiliar world. The landscape was twisted, filled with distorted buildings and warped creatures. A sense of dread gripped her, and as she stumbled through this terrifying place, she felt a presence nearby. She awoke screaming, her heart racing, and her phone illuminated with a notification: "Your nightmare has been recorded." A short, distorted clip played, a dark silhouette swirling in shadows. It seemed to watch her, eyes glimmering with malice. Chills crept down her spine, and she quickly deleted the recording, choosing to ignore the shadows lurking in her mind. The following days became a recurring cycle. Each night, the app deepened her fears. It became a game to see what horrors would manifest while she slept. Sometimes she found herself dreaming of faces blurred in anger, or of corridors filled with whispers. Each morning would greet her with a new video. The entity was growing bolder. One night, it revealed its true form. Pale skin stretched tight over a skeletal face, eyes hollow yet burning with an otherworldly fire. In the days that followed, Jessica struggled to find sleep. She realized that the app was no longer simply live streaming her fears, it was feeding off them. Each morning, she noticed small changes in her daily life: misplacing objects, hearing soft murmurs when alone, and glimpses of movement in her peripheral vision. After a particularly unsettling dream where the entity had stood right at her bedside, she decided enough was enough. Jessica deleted the app from her phone, hoping to finally sever the connection. However, an ominous reminder flashed: you cannot erase what you cannot forget. Hot terror coursed through her veins as she began to notice strange things about her technology. Her laptop turned on by itself, typing lines of text that would send shivers down any spine. "I'm coming for you, Jessica." That night, the darkness deepened. She could hear her own breathing echoing in the quiet room until that familiar, distorted voice began to emanate from her phone. It whispered her name, almost playfully, as if mocking her attempts to escape. In desperation, she confided in her roomie, Mark, a tech geek. He grimaced at her story but decided to help anyway. They researched the app, uncovering rumors of past users who had experienced terrifying consequences after engaging with Nightmare. The app had been linked to several disappearances, a red flag Jessica had ignored in her excitement. "Jessica, we have to trace back its data," Mark quickly said. As they dug deep into the app's hidden files, a chilling conclusion clutched at her gut. The app had been created in a neglected lab that dealt with fear manipulation. Users unknowingly became subjects, their nightmares woven into a collective dread, leaving a piece of themselves trapped within its coding. The atmosphere shifted once more that night. Shadows played tricks with the lights as they flickered ominously. When they looked down at the laptop, it was as if the screen displayed a cryptic warning: "Last feed scheduled, 10 p.m. The clock ticked towards 10, and Jessica's pulse quickened. She needed to end the nightmare. Rushing to find the last recording, she recognized the dark figure lurking within the innocent glow of her phone. The distorted face twisted into a grin, whispering ominously, "Let me in." Mark grabbed the laptop, slamming it closed, but it rattled, screaming through the metal casing. "We have to go. The entity will know we're here." As they moved towards the door, the whispering voice became a cacophony. "Stay. Stay forever." The walls of the dorm shrank, suffocating them as Jessica stumbled toward freedom. She accidentally knocked over her lamp, sending it crashing to the floor. The darkness enveloped her as the entity seeped out, slithering like a shadow around her ankles. With every ounce of strength, Jessica screamed, "No," and charged toward the door, flinging it open as cold night air rushed in. As she and Mark darted down the hall, a chilling silence followed, foreboding yet seductive. They never spoke of that night again. But Jessica now knows to stay away from apps that promise dreams and nightmares, lurking in the corners of her phone. In the quiet dark, when shadows whisper her name, she sometimes wonders if nightmare still watches her, waiting for the moment she might forget.